The dragon mother Varelthra was ancient beyond measure. Her scales were deep obsidian streaked with veins of glowing ember gold. Each breath she took warmed the air, and every movement of her colossal wings sent shockwaves through the cavernous trial chamber. Before her stood a single human. No armor, no weapon, no shield. Just Ethan Cole, human systems engineer and accidental diplomatic envoy. Varelthra's voice rolled like distant thunder. "Prove you are worthy." The words echoed off the stone walls, rattling banners and bones alike. Around them, dragon elders watched silently. Many humans had stood here before. None had left. Worthiness to dragons meant strength. It meant dominance. Fire against fire. Will against will. Most challengers screamed. Some begged. A few tried to fight. All failed. Varelthra lowered her massive head until one burning eye was level with Ethan. "You may flee," she said. "You may fight, or you may submit. Choose." Ethan blinked. "That's it." A ripple of surprise moved through the Dragon Council. Varelthra narrowed her eye. "You do not fear me?" "Oh, I absolutely do," Ethan said honestly. "You're a mountain that breathes fire. That'd be weird not to fear." Murmurs spread. "But," Ethan continued, rubbing the back of his neck, "I get the feeling that's not what you're actually testing." Varelthra snorted, a plume of smoke curling around Ethan's boots. "Explain yourself, human." Ethan took a careful step forward. Every dragon tensed. "If you wanted strength," he said calmly, "you'd already have crushed me. If you wanted obedience, you wouldn't need a test." He gestured softly toward the cavern. "This feels more like, you're tired." Silence. The dragon elders froze. Varelthra's jaw tightened. "Mind your tongue." Ethan nodded. "Fair. Sorry. But still, your posture, your breathing, the way your wings are tight instead of spread. That's not dominance." He looked up at her massive face. "That's exhaustion." A low growl rippled through the chamber. "How dare a human?" "Silence," Varelthra commanded. Her eye never left Ethan. "You presume much," she said slowly. Ethan shrugged. "Occupational hazard. Humans notice patterns. Helps us survive things bigger than us." That earned a few confused blinks from the elder dragons. Varelthra leaned closer. "If you believe you understand me," she said, voice deadly calm, "then act." Flames licked along her jaw. Ethan inhaled once. Then, against all reason, all instinct, all known survival logic, he stepped forward. Gasps echoed. Ethan raised his hand slowly, palm open, movements careful and respectful. Varelthra did not strike, did not burn, did not roar. Ethan gently placed his hand against the warm, obsidian scales beneath her jaw, and petted her, softly, like calming a nervous animal. Every dragon froze. Every elder forgot how to breathe. Someone dropped a ceremonial spear. Varelthra's eye widened, not in rage, but shock. "What are you doing?" she whispered. Ethan's voice was quiet. "You're carrying the weight of an entire species. You're guarding eggs, territory, tradition, and fear all at once." He stroked slowly, carefully. "That's a lot for anyone, even a dragon mother." The heat around them softened. The flames along her jaw dimmed. Dragons ruled through power. Humans survived through understanding. Ethan wasn't stronger. He wasn't braver. He was gentler. And somehow, that mattered. Varelthra exhaled slowly. A deep, rumbling sound, not a growl. A sigh. No challenger had ever touched her like this. No warrior had ever seen her. "You should be Ash," Varelthra said quietly. Ethan smiled faintly. "Yeah, I get that a lot." One of the elder dragons whispered, stunned. "He is not challenging her. He is comforting her." Varelthra's massive head lowered, just slightly, into Ethan's hand. The chamber erupted in stunned murmurs. Varelthra's voice softened, dangerous but curious. "Human, you have failed every test of strength." She paused. "And yet, you may have passed a far older one." Ethan swallowed. "So, am I dead?" A low, rumbling laugh shook the cavern. "No, the dragon mother said. But you are no longer insignificant. Her gaze sharpened. And now, we will see what happens when a human earns a dragon's attention. Silence ruled the chamber. Not the calm kind, the dangerous kind. Dragon elders stared at Ethan Cole like he was either a prophet or a corpse that hadn't realized it yet. The dragon mother Varelthra remained still. Her massive head lowered just enough that Ethan's hand still rested against her warm scales. No fire, no roar, no execution, just stillness. An elder dragon with silver-edged wings finally broke the silence. "This is madness," he snarled. "The human touched you without permission." Another elder hissed, smoke curling from her nostrils. "No trial has ever allowed this. Worthiness is proven by strength." Varelthra's eye flicked sideways. "One more word," she said quietly, "and you will learn how fragile tradition truly is." The chamber went dead silent again. Ethan slowly lowered his hand, palms open, respectful. "If I crossed a line, I apologize. I wasn't trying to challenge you." Varelthra studied him. "You were not." Her voice dropped lower. "You were listening." That unsettled the elders far more than defiance ever could. Dragons ruled through dominance, through fear, through unquestioned power. A human who didn't fight or submit, but instead understood, that was dangerous. "You weaken us?" the silver-winged elder growled. "If humans believe they can touch dragon mothers without consequence, they will die if they do so foolishly," Varelthra snapped. This one did not. Her gaze returned to Ethan. He read my intent. He respected my space. He did not act to claim power, only to ease burden. Ethan coughed awkwardly. "I mean, yeah, that." Varelthra straightened, wings unfolding halfway. Heat rolled through the chamber again, but controlled now. "Human," she said. "If you believe gentleness makes you worthy, then you will face a different test." Ethan nodded. "Okay." Several dragons blinked. "That's it?" one muttered. "No fear." "Oh, I'm terrified," Ethan said cheerfully. "I just don't see the benefit in screaming." The stone floor split open with a low rumble. Below them lay the hatching vault, rows of massive dragon eggs resting in heated cradles of crystal and magma. Some glowed steadily, others flickered. The elders stiffened. "The eggs are unstable," Varelthra said. "A resonance imbalance. Our presence agitates them." She fixed Ethan with a heavy stare. "Dragons calm dragons with authority. You will not have that." Ethan looked down at the eggs, then back up. "So, you want me to calm them?" "Yes." A beat. "Without fire, without dominance, without commands." The elders scoffed. "Impossible." Ethan crouched near the edge of the vault, eyes scanning patterns in the glow. "They're reacting to emotional stress," he murmured. "Not volume." Varelthra's brow ridges lifted slightly. Ethan took a breath and did something utterly ridiculous. He sat down, cross-legged, right in front of the dragon mother's eggs. Dragons hissed in outrage. "He dares." Ethan raised a hand. "Please don't eat me for this." Then he spoke quietly. "Hey, I know the world outside is loud, scary, hot, a lot of pressure." His voice was calm, steady. "You don't have to hatch today. You're safe. No one's rushing you." The flickering slowed. One egg's glow stabilized. A low murmur rippled through the chamber. Ethan continued, voice gentle. "My species doesn't hatch ready. We come out helpless. We cry. We depend on others." He smiled faintly. "But that doesn't make us weak. It makes us careful, thoughtful, connected." Another egg steadied. Varelthra's wings lowered slightly. She could feel it. The resonance was settling. "This defies instinct," an elder whispered. "No," Varelthra replied softly. "It reveals another." Ethan leaned back on his hands, glancing up at the massive dragon mother. "You don't need to prove anything to them," he said. "They already trust you." The eggs glowed warm and steady now. Not one cracked. Not one screamed. Where dragons used power, humans used patience. Where dragons commanded, Humans reassured. No fire had been lit. No strength displayed. Yet the future of dragonkind lay calm and safe. Varelthra lowered her head again, not in submission. In acknowledgement. You have done what no dragon could, she said quietly. Ethan blinked. Really? You did not force control. You earned it. The elders were silent now, not angry, uncertain, afraid. Varelthra turned to the council. This human will remain, gasps echoed. He will observe, learn, and be protected. She looked back to Ethan. You wanted to prove worthiness. Her eyes gleamed. Now you must survive being important. Ethan exhaled. That somehow sounds worse. A low, rumbling chuckle rolled through the chamber. For the first time in centuries, a dragon mother laughed. Varelthra turned to the council. This human will remain, gasps echoed. He will observe, learn, and be protected. She looked back to Ethan. You wanted to prove worthiness. Her eyes gleamed. Now you must survive being important. Ethan exhaled. That somehow sounds worse. A low, rumbling chuckle rolled through the chamber. For the first time in centuries, a dragon mother laughed. The hatching vault no longer trembled. The eggs rested in steady, warm light, calm, patient, alive. And standing among them, looking wildly out of place, was Ethan Cole, human engineer, accidental dragon whisperer, and now the most controversial being in Dracoria. That was when the challenge came. A shadow detached itself from the upper ledges. Massive, broad-winged, scales the color of scorched iron. Carvax, a war-brewed elder, descended into the vault with a heavy impact that cracked stone. This farce ends, he growled. A human sitting among our future is an insult. Ethan looked up. Hi! Carvax ignored him and faced Varelthra. Dragon Mother, you allow weakness to stand where fire should rule. Varelthra's eyes narrowed. Choose your next words carefully. I challenge the human, Carvax said. If he is worthy, let him prove it against me. Gasps rippled through the chamber. Ethan stiffened. Just to clarify, does challenge mean talking? Or becoming a scorch mark? Carvax snarled. Combat. Ethan stood slowly. No. The word echoed louder than a roar. Dragons froze. I won't fight you, Ethan said evenly. Not because I can't, because it proves nothing. Carvax laughed, fire leaking between his teeth. Coward. Ethan shrugged. Maybe, but cowards don't calm dragon eggs. That hit harder than any blow. The nearest eggs flickered. Not violently but uneasily. Varelthra felt it immediately. Carvax's rage was affecting them. You endanger the brood, she warned. They must learn strength. Carvax snapped. Ethan stepped forward between Carvax and the eggs. Every dragon inhaled sharply. You're loud, Ethan said calmly. You're angry, and right now you're scaring them. Carvax's eyes burned. Move, human. Ethan didn't. HFY wasn't about muscles. It was about standing anyway. Ethan glanced at the eggs, then at the crystal conduits lining the vault. Your resonance field is off, he muttered. They're picking up aggressive emotional spikes. Varelthra blinked. Explain. Dragon biology is tuned to intent, Ethan said quickly. You feel dominance. They feel danger. He took a breath. Carvax isn't testing me. He's testing you. The chamber went silent. Carvax roared. Lies. Ethan looked him straight in the eye. You're afraid. That stunned everyone. You're afraid that if strength isn't everything, then your entire identity collapses. The eggs flickered again. Not violently, but sympathetically. Varelthra felt it. Carvax faltered. Just for a second. Enough, Varelthra commanded. Her wings flared, not in anger, but authority. Carvax, withdraw. He hesitated. You would choose a human over your own? Varelthra's voice was iron. I choose the future. Carvax backed away, fury smoldering, but he obeyed. The eggs stabilized instantly. Varelthra turned to Ethan. You stood against fire with nothing but truth. Ethan exhaled shakily. I was hoping that wouldn't get me eaten. A low chuckle rippled through the elders. Varelthra stepped closer, lowering her massive head. From this moment, she declared, you will speak for the brood when dragons cannot. The chamber erupted. A human voice? Unthinkable. Dangerous. Ethan's eyes widened. Wait, what? You hear what we ignore, Varelthra said. You feel what we suppress. She met his gaze. That makes you necessary. Humans weren't chosen because they were strongest. They were chosen because they adapted, because they questioned, because they cared even when fear screamed otherwise. Ethan rubbed his face. I just wanted to survive the day. Varelthra rumbled softly. Now you must survive history. Far above the vault, alarms began to echo. A breach. Foreign signatures. Someone else had felt the egg's instability, and they wanted to exploit it. Varelthra's eyes hardened. Human, she said. Your final trial approaches. Ethan squared his shoulders. Okay, he said quietly. Then let's protect them. The eggs glowed warm and steady behind him. For the first time in dragon history, a human stood between fire and the future. The alarms were not dragon-made. They were older, sharper, wrong. Ethan felt it before anyone said a word. The egg's glow dimmed, not from fear, but from confusion. Something was interfering with the resonance field again. This time, deliberately, Varelthra's wings flared wide, shielding the brood. Identify the intruders, she commanded. The vault's upper seals shattered. Not dragons. Harvesters. They descended on grav harnesses, tall, armored beings with polished black plating and cold, lens-like eyes. Their weapons hummed with containment energy, not fire. Egg thieves. Species collectors. Civilizations that didn't conquer worlds. They harvested heirs. One of them spoke through a translator. Dragon Mother Varelthra, we sensed instability in your brood. We offer protection. Ethan's jaw clenched. That's a lie. The harvester turned its head. The human understands predator speech. Varelthra snarled. You are not welcome. Your defenses are compromised, the harvester replied calmly. And your kind is emotional. That did it. Carvax lunged. A containment beam slammed him into the stone midair. The elders roared, but the harvesters were ready. Fields snapped into place, locking wings, draining flame. Dragons immobilized. Eggs exposed. Ethan's heart pounded. No claws. No fire. No armor. Just a human brain that refused to panic. Varelthra, he said quickly. Their tech works by predicting aggression. That's why it shuts dragons down. She forced herself still. Then what do we do? Ethan swallowed. We don't fight like dragons. He stepped forward. The harvesters paused. Human, step away. One ordered. Ethan didn't. You rely on fear, he said. On dominance signals. But these eggs don't run on that. He knelt hands flat on the stone and began to hum. Not loudly. Soft. Steady. Rhythmic. The same pattern he'd used when the eggs first calmed. The resonance shifted. The eggs choose. The eggs flared not with heat, but light. The harvester's containment fields flickered. What is happening? One demanded. Ethan smiled faintly. You never learned the difference between control and trust. The eggs synchronized. Their combined resonance surged, not violently but coherently. The fields collapsed. Dragons roared free. Fire exploded across the vault. Varelthra moved like a living storm. Harvesters fell, armor melting, tech shattering under ancient flame. Carvax tore one from the air and crushed it. The rest retreated in chaos, alarms shrieking as their vessels disengaged. Within moments, silence. Smoke drifted upward, and the eggs glowed brighter than ever. Ethan slumped against a pillar, shaking. Varelthra approached slowly, not towering, not threatening. She lowered herself until her eyes were level with his. You did not dominate them, she said quietly. No, Ethan replied. I listened. The dragon mother bowed. Every dragon froze. Then one by one they followed. You did not dominate them, she said quietly. No, Ethan replied. I listened. The dragon mother bowed. Every dragon froze. Then one by one they followed. A line drawn in history. Let it be recorded, Varelthra declared, voice echoing through stone and memory, that when dragon fire failed, human care prevailed. She turned to Ethan. You are no longer a guest. His stomach dropped. Am I about to be adopted by dragons? A rumble of amusement spread. You are bonded guardian of the brood, Varelthra said. A role no dragon could fill. Karvak stepped forward, head lowered. I was wrong, the war elder admitted. Strength alone is blind. Ethan nodded. Happens to the best of us.